Good morning, YouTube.
Say again?
I said good morning, YouTube. That's what I said.
Morning. Let's go.
We can't see you, Kayode.
I know. Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. If you just joined us, you're just in time. It's time for Business Express 981. And of course, this morning, we're going to be talking about explosions. But yes, before we get into the details of that, let's give you the numbers to be a part of the conversation. Of course, your messages come to WhatsApp, which is 0809-444-0981. And we're streaming live on YouTube. So please send your messages to, of course, our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Rotus, you had a smile on your face this morning when I said explosions. What are we talking about?
Yeah, because you're like, we're starting with explosions.
On a great note.
No, but look, yeah, it's pretty, I mean, I'm just getting wind of this right now, and it completely threw me off what I intended to talk about. But it's an FPSO, which is a floating production, storage, and offtake vessel. These large offshore vessels that are involved in, transportation, storage of oil that's, brought out from upstream activities for oil and gas companies. It's in the Niger Delta region. Apparently, it exploded, and look, it's a 50-year-old vessel. It's called Trinity Spirit FPSO, and as far, I don't want to say which oil company it's linked to, because there's still questions as to who it's linked to. It's also Chevron. This is for Escravos. Escravos is located in the Warri South local government area of Delta State, Niger Delta region. Escravos, for Kayode. These are key streams for oil production as far as different grades of oil that Nigeria has. So Chevron Nigeria Limited, apparently handles some operating, some licenses, OMLs and so on in that area. But the report suggests that it could be linked to SEPCO, which is the Sheba Exploration and Production Company Limited. So there's some confusion there as to whether it's with Chevron or SEPCO. They've tried to reach out to the members of the of Nigeria's Upstream Regulatory Commission, but no word yet. The Nigeria Upstream Regulatory Commission, nothing has been said from its corporate spokesman, Mr. Paul Oshu. Also, no comments yet from any of the oil companies. But the issue here is that it's apparently, and I shared an image with you. It's there was a loud boom followed by lots of smoke. No casualties have been confirmed yet. So we're still waiting to get some more details of this. And look, this is the time when, like yesterday, OPEC Plus had their joint ministerial meeting, and they decided to maintain oil output at 400 barrels per day, even though they're under pressure from the United States, I think India and other places, to increase oil production so that prices can come down. Oil is at an 8-year high now, almost $90 a barrel. OPEC's cuts on production have affected Nigeria in that we've got aging infrastructure, we've got vandalism, we've got all these issues that have been affecting our output. So we're supposed to be doing 1.8, almost 2 million barrels per day. We haven't hit that number, falling to 1.6. I think this as of January is maybe 1.3 or 4 million barrels per day. So if you've got a major vessel, an FPSO, that's exploded,
that's a hit like this,
Escravos area, that does serious damage to our production output.
Okay.
Already low enough as it is. And when you think about Nigeria's dependence on oil for about almost 60% of government revenues, almost 90% of foreign exchange revenues, it's troubling. But beyond oil production, it's loss of life. And again, no casualties have been announced, but we're going to have to get more information on that as news breaks. Only the Vanguard, or I think another publication called Oracle News, put this information out there. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the takeaway from this is when you hear that, you know, somewhere like at Escravos or Forcados or one of these major, you know, areas of production for upstream oil production for Nigeria, when there's an explosion or there's a hit to production,
it'll make a setback, a ripple effect.
Exactly.
On the economy.
You know, so we'll I mean, I'll keep my ears to the ground and see what else happens. But look, the wider discussion here, Kayode, is that Nigeria has to diversify away from oil to the extent to where there's enough income coming in and things like this don't
affect our revenue in general. Yesterday,
right.
I think on Freshly Pressed, we talked about, and of course on Lagos Talks, we talked about the how the government is passing a bill to, you know, further improve the mining sector, where, you know, people can come in and then, you know, have more miners come in and try and explore that area. Talked about, you know, some of the 44 natural resources, mineral resources that we have generally, and see how people can take advantage of that. So now you mentioning that Nigeria depends a lot on oil. I mean, 60% of our revenue comes from oil. If that area is explored, you know, there will be some type of, you know, counterbalance and maybe more jobs, you know, like you always talk about, more jobs every single time, you know, on
look, if the day you know that Nigeria is serious about improving the mining sector is the day a company like Rio Tinto, which is a massive Australian mining company that has, I mean, if you think about the fallout of what happened between Djokovic, the Australian Open, they kicked him out after Serbia, where he is from. Serbia rejected an operational license for Rio Tinto, kicking them out of the company. Now, it wasn't linked, which there were protests on in the last year about Rio Tinto's activities in Serbia and how they will affect the environment and blah, blah, blah. But the whole point is that a big company like Rio Tinto wanted to operate in Serbia because of their, whether it's mining deposits or whatever. So when you know a country is serious, look, I'm talking about Chevron now and Sepco and all these other big oil companies. The presence of big oil majors in Nigeria gives you a clue as to the potential of what is in the ground for oil.
Yeah, for oil.
So in the same way, we've been talking about mining in Nigeria for how many years? Revenues from mining they are laughable. If Nigeria is serious about allowing private sector players come to explore all those minerals they keep mentioning, then the same way you hear about Chevron, Shell, Total, all these other people in the oil sector, you would hear of big players in the mining sector in Nigeria. That's just how it is. Look, there's just very quickly.
Well, what else can Nigeria diversify, as in the country? What else can we what other areas can we look to diversify in?
Look around you. Just look around. What is Nigeria blessed with? Whatever Nigeria is blessed with, foreign folks should come to the country and say, we want a piece of that.
It would be tourism, but then again, insecurity has, I mean, we have to tackle that situation first before we start to think of tourism.
How long have we been saying that? We've been talking about
another conversation.
Combating insecurity for forever. But I was reading something incredible today. Thailand's government pension fund. Government pension fund, though, government, that is, it only handles the pension funds for government employees, which in Thailand totals about 1.1, 1.2 million. They are looking to invest in emerging markets.
Okay.
Fund is a $33 billion fund, right? $33 billion for 1 million people. Nigeria's total pension funds that is handled by PenCom is about $30 billion or $31 billion. And that has about 9 million registered people.
Oh, wow.
So talked about the rest of Thailand's pension, active pension. This is just government alone, just government employees is equal to our entire pension fund. And this is when we talk about attracting investment. They're like, okay, look, our fund is growing to the point where we can't invest or get more returns from our domestic market. So we have to go overseas. And the two countries that they've mentioned to go and put money in are
Switzerland.
and India. Now, this is pension funds. This has nothing to do with mining. It's got nothing to do with oil. It's got nothing to do with that. But what I'm saying is attraction. What they mentioned, they said the reason why they're looking at China and India is because those companies, or rather economies, have to some extent weathered the storm of the COVID pandemic, but also the companies in China and India are involved in chip making. They're involved in IT. They're in activities that are attract funds from pension administrators in other countries. Thailand's total foreign assets, that is investment assets, I hear is $135 billion. That is money that is invested
in different assets all around the world.
Right. And they've put so much money in the US, and so why can't a Nigeria's capital market attract those funds? If you look at our foreign trade,
we're still trying to manage our treasury here and manage other things. So
right. So look, this, we're in a world, a globalized world, where if you are serious about what it is that you do, people will notice. That's just it. You don't need to make any, you don't need to have a forum at a hotel or Aso Rock to say, hey, we're about to do this and we're going to be attracting these. No. You don't need to make any announcements. Other governments would say, hey, look, we're going to put $50 billion into Nigeria's capital market because we're looking for where to get investments, or rather get returns, and we're going to Nigeria. Rio Tinto will say, hey, you know what? Nigeria's mining sector is so attractive that we're going to make $100 billion investment and build a big mining facility to bring. You don't need to make any noise. Other people will say you are,
Well, we got a few messages here. Let's get to those messages. Here's one from Gilbert. Gilbert says, beyond discovering alternative to oil production in Nigeria, we have learned our lessons from the massive oil spills in the Niger Delta. Are we up to date with environmental impact assessment of mineral resources? And Ogene Ochuku comes in to say, with government policy flip up, I doubt if any company can invest in the mining industry. That's what we're actually discussing right now, because the possibilities of investments, amongst other things, is what we're talking about.
Exactly. I mean, that's the issue that we're facing. So, Kayode, we are here. We observe the matters, and we just hope that the government does what it needs to do in order to get us where we need to be.
All right. Thank you so much.
Very quickly. I have to say this. Since today's episode of Business Express is brought to you by Stanbic IBTC. Yesterday, Stanbic IBTC, 33 years old. At Ted Peter's side, we put out a tweet, celebrating Stanbic at 33. And also, it was a really cool tweet. When he was back in the 80s, I think it was 1989 that he founded Stanbic, and then later, the IBTC got joined. So happy birthday, anniversary, 33rd year running for Stanbic IBTC. Great company, and we're glad they're part of the Smooth FM family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stanbic IBTC, and thank you so much, Rotus. Lagos, there's more to come. This is Business Express. Well, like we mentioned, it's brought to you by Stanbic IBTC. In a few more minutes, there'll be more to come, and that's Freshly Pressed 981, but that's at 7:30, so please stay with us.